There's a kind of person who gets their power by keeping you off balance. They insult you. They smile like it's all a joke, right? They guilt trip you for saying no. They twist every confrontation so that you end up apologizing to them. And if you grew up with trauma, those people, it's like they can smell it on you. You know, they can sense that old reflex, the one that says, keep the peace at any cost. I'll do anything for you. And so they push and you fold. They criticize and you try even harder to please them. It's an old dance, one you never agreed to, but you've been doing it your whole life. You know that flash of shame when someone talks down to you and your brain just blanks out and you stand there frozen thinking, did that just really happen? What do I say? And then later you think of all the things you should have said. That's the trap. They want you off balance, apologizing, confused, not knowing what to say. But here's the truth. You can't beat a manipulator by playing their game. You win by stepping out of it completely. You don't match their tone. You don't explain, and you don't defend. You stay calm, you stay brief, and you stay out. And that's how you disarm them. If you've ever been gaslit by someone who hurts you and then tells you you're too sensitive, or you've been mocked in front of others while everyone laughs, or you've been shut out with the silent treatment until you came crawling back, pretending like it never happened, you know how powerless that can feel. It's not just that it hurts your feelings. It stirs up the old reflex to play small and make peace. And if you grew up around people who yelled and shamed or punished you for having needs, you probably figured out early that the quickest way to stop the pain was to stay quiet and try to please them. Now, that strategy worked when you were small, but if you keep doing it now, you end up in relationships where your job is to stay small. Yeah, you can't build love or respect on that. You can't build peace on that. So when you set a boundary, expect pushback. It's coming. Expect them to be angry or offended or to walk away. So let them. Because if the price of keeping someone in your life is pretending to be less than you are, that's not connection. That's captivity. You might lose a few people when you start telling the truth, but what you gain is your freedom to live honestly. Now let's go through 8 real-life situations and a few different ways that you can speak truth in each one. All right, here's number 1 situation. I call it the gaslighting apology. So they say something cutting, and then they laugh, haha, relax, you're too sensitive. And then you freeze, that old survival reflex, and then you breathe and you say something like this. That wasn't funny to me. Or stop calling it a joke. You meant it. Now they'll probably deflect. Let them. You've already ended the game. All right, number 2, the public put down. This is where they embarrass you in front of other people. A jab about your body, what you're wearing, your job, your intelligence, and everybody goes, ha ha ha. What do? You stay calm and you say one of these. Let's just keep this respectful. Or, wow, a public put down, huh? And then walk away. Even if the room goes quiet, that silence belongs to you. You've shown everyone, including yourself, that you don't trade self-respect for belonging. Number 3, the charm and punish cycle. Now, this happens in romantic relationships when they swing between love bombing you and then going totally cold. Have you been in this kind of thing? Many of us have. You're constantly guessing which version you're going to get. And when they're love bombing you, you can say, this sounds wonderful, but I'm looking for consistency, not intensity. And when they're cold, you can say, that's weird. It's like you want me to earn your kindness. I'm not into that. Now, that might end things. That's okay. If a relationship can only go forward if you ignore disrespect, it's not a relationship. All right? You're free. Let it go. Number 4 is control through chaos. This is a strategy some people use. They change the rules. They change their expectations of you again and again. Schedules, stories. They blame you for not being able to read their mind or keep up. This can happen when you're working with a team or when you've got a boss who's not that great. And instead of scrambling and getting resentful, which has a tendency to make you look like the problem, right? You can very elegantly just hold your ground by saying something like, can we talk through what is expected so that we're on the same page? Yeah, doesn't that sound just like smooth? I like it. Or you can say, this has been changed twice. Let's get a clear plan, and then I can respond to what you're asking. Now, you've just pulled the power out of confusion and back into truth without being prickly about it. It's just cool as a cucumber. Number 5 is the emotional dump and blame. This is when people vent or rage or cry, and when you try to step back, they accuse you of not caring. You don't even care about me. Now, you can stay kind, and you can say very calmly, I do care about you, and I can't take this on right now. Or you can say, you deserve support, but I'm not the right person for this. Or you can say, I can listen for a few minutes, but then I need to stop. All right, when you do this, it's not cold. It's just a boundary. You're protecting your energy so that you can give it to people who actually value it. Number 6 is, this one kills me, the silent treatment. So hard for me when somebody does this. So someone disappears on you, no calls, no answers, until you're anxious enough to chase them. And if you've ever dated an avoidant type, you know the feeling. But this time when they disappear, here's what you can try. Do nothing. Just do nothing. That's your phrase to use. Silence. Nothing. And then if they come back pretending nothing happened, you can say, I didn't hear from you for a while. What happened? So when you say that, you're not angry. You're just clear. Their control only works when you react and start hiding yourself in how you really feel. So you're not going to do that anymore. Number 7. I call it the guilt flip. You finally say no, and then they throw guilt at you. They say, after everything I've done for you, blah, blah, blah. Now you can say, I appreciate what you've done. My answer is still no. Now, get ready. The guilt will come. You might feel it, but just let it burn through. That discomfort you're feeling is what growth feels like. It's the feeling you get when you start laying down your first boundaries. Number 8 is the fake concern shamer. And I've heard people use words for this. I thought I made up the word concern shaming. I had a ex-friend who did that to me, and it was so uncomfortable. They disguise cruelty as care. I'm just worried about you. I'm just being honest because I love you. Now, when they do that, you can respond with something direct like, that sounds like criticism, not care. Or, I'm not looking for feedback right now. Oh no, you're cutting off their supply. No more energy for them to feed off of. What'll they do? When you speak up with these phrases, it can be uncomfortable for a moment. It's supposed to be. If it feels easy, you're probably still people-pleasing. So it's time to stop making it okay for jerks to just treat you like this, to say cutting things, to make it into a joke. Now, the goal isn't to win with narcissists and bullies. The goal is to stop living your life around their moods. You can't change them, but you can stop handing them your peace. You can tell the truth and then just stop talking. You can let people be mad at you or misunderstand you or leave. And you can trust that what falls apart wasn't real connection to begin with. When you practice these moments, you're building strength in the exact places trauma once made you collapse. And that strength doesn't come from being fearless. It comes from being honest. So next time someone tries to twist or guilt or humiliate you, remember this. You don't have to out-argue them. You just have to stop placating them. Tell the truth. Walk away if you have to. That's how you disarmed them, instantly and for good. If you like this video, I've got one that you're going to love right here, and I'll see you very soon. A lot of people are afraid that if they focus on themselves, they'll be lonely or bored or useless or just too consumed with themselves. But when you avoid yourself like this, you lose all your power. And guess what? You become lonely and bored and unable to be useful to anyone.